Survival is my first generation experience. I'm an immigrant boy from Caracas, Venezuela, otherwise known as a political war zone for drug trafficking, government assistance of terrorist organizations, and widespread corruption. A reality of starving families, rioting in streets, and violence beyond belief. I'm both a survivor of a reality that should have been mine and a survivor of a reality that I've been given. My reality is of odds. The odds have consistently been stacked against me as I walk on a straight path of progression. One second, they tell you that this is a land of opportunity, a land where you can do anything that you set your mind to. Yet everything that follows on my path has been a series of no's. No, you don't qualify for a credit card because you're not American. No, you can't go on your school trip, you're not American. No, you can't get financial aid. No, you don't qualify for scholarships. No, you weren't accepted. No, you can't speak your native language. No, you can't be professional. No, you aren't American enough. So what do you do? What do you do when you've already lost one home and seek of more opportunity, and the place that has the most opportunities in the world still tells you no, like an arrow shot through your back with every single step that you take? No help, no guidance, it's just you. Survival is my first generation experience. I've been contemplating, sitting and waiting to find something that makes my story special enough to differentiate myself from all the rest. But I don't think I'm gonna do that now. I don't think I could, even if I wanted to. Unfortunately, this story, my story of the hardships of a Latinx immigrant youth being set back by wall after wall for simply existing, is nothing special. This reality is a common one. And as an advocate for every single student that is striving to succeed to their fullest potential, all while the world screams in their face that they'll never be able to make it, I can't pretend like this is something that makes me special and different from the rest. What makes me special is who I am. I'm a part of a community of survivors in every sense of the word. No, you don't qualify for a credit card. Okay, I'll work twice as hard and go from paycheck to pay for my school all by myself. No, you don't qualify for any scholarships. Okay, I'll become a senator for my university, advocate for undocumented students, and draft my own legislation to create a new scholarship for not only these students, but also international students and non-traditional students. No, you can't be professional, you can't succeed, you can't make a difference. Well, it's my turn to say no. I'll just start college at 16-year-old. I'll obtain an associate's degree before even getting my high school diploma. I will get my bachelor's degree. I will attend a top 10 law school, and I will run for US Congress, and I will win. What makes me special is that I have the capability of taking the arrows that have been shot into my back. I tend to my own wounds, and I break the arrow in half, so it's never used on anyone else ever again. Because that's who I am, and I am what a first generation student looks like. Thank you.
First semester. Red, green, and blue Christmas lights shimmered against my windshield. Fat snowflakes floated in my headlights as I drove into an empty church parking lot. The asphalt offered a somber path between the festive houses lining the street. I parked near a building and killed the engine. It was late, 10:30 p.m. I crawled into the back, grabbed a pillow and blanket, and huddled on the seats. My arms wrapped around my chest, and my legs curled into my ribs. I needed sleep. I had class in the morning. It was my third night in my car. I had 11 more nights to go before I could go home for the holiday break. My dorm, complete with a bed, shower, and heater, stood 10 miles away from the parking lot. During the last 2 weeks of my first semester of college, I was homeless due to strange and abusive roommates and a rising panic that I might end up like my parents. Education was never a priority in my family. My father received his GED after his high school expulsion. My mother got pregnant when she graduated. My brother graduated high school early to work in the oil fields. I don't want to say my parents weren't happy, but my mom frequently told me how she wished she had been a forensic scientist. My dad often reminded me that he should have waited longer to get married. I didn't call my parents about my new living situation. My mother would have insisted I come home. Since my parents' house was 5 hours away, I would have missed all of my finals and certainly failed my first semester. Instead, I studied biology and philosophy under dome lights and lived off of apples, potato chips, and Mountain Dew. I knew that I didn't want my future to be filled with regret of what could have been. I wanted to revel in what I had accomplished. In order to survive my first year of college and get where I am today, a graduate student pursuing my passion of writing, I made choices that guaranteed the life I wanted. My most important decision was choosing to live in my car and finish the semester, or go back home with no idea of when, if ever, I would go back to college. I had an inkling of what my degree would give me, like a good job, but I never imagined it would do so much more, like giving me opportunities to interact with others who value writing and art. A couple of weeks in my car was a small price to pay for my degree. By focusing on my future and what the degree was going to do for me, I was able to withstand the challenging obstacles I encountered. If I had returned home that first semester, I might have been telling my own children today about my regrets. Instead, I'll be sharing with them a lifetime of knowledge and perseverance. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
What are you doing here? These were words uttered by a high school acquaintance I bumped into on my first day at Long Beach City College. Although masquerading as innocent, these words were floodlights exposing who I was and from whom I came. My face flushed, I felt naked. How do I begin to explain that I embody many firsts? What are you doing here? I am the first from both sides of my family to be born in the US and attain birthright citizenship. Yet, invisible is the lineage of prayer, resistance, and survival flowing through my veins. My late maternal grandmother disguised her face with dirt to avoid rape when Imperial Japan invaded Barangay Agnaya, our town in the Philippines during World War II. My mother took risks in overstaying her US visa to escape dictatorship and martial law and to have a chance out of provincial poverty. How do I explain that I am the daughter of a Filipino family with mixed legal status, occupying a liminal space that does not fit the undocumented narrative? What are you doing here? I am the first in my family to navigate the American college system. Yet, being Filipino American, I am lost under the misunderstood umbrella of Asian America, as being a model minority is thrust upon me. In the conversation that followed, it became clear that my acquaintance's question was twisted with assumed merit. She least expected me to be at a community college because I am Asian. How do I explain that I did not receive detailed guidance around college? How do I push back on the model, which silences not only my family's struggle, but many Asian American communities? What are you doing here? This first day in college was one of many moments that unearthed secrets I buried. I wrestled with legitimacy around starting at a community college and not fitting the model. While my family saw the US as a land with promise of a future, I often had to find my own way. I felt shame. Over time, I realized burying was not the answer. I am part and parcel to the lineage that paved my way to college and beyond. Buyer beware, acquiring this wisdom comes with a fair share of pain and work. Being first means acknowledging that this is a complex and continual process of loving and forgiving myself and from whom I came. What are you doing here? Today, I am a first-generation doctoral student interested in race-conscious higher education laws and policies. I continue to learn and unlearn how race impacts the educational institution. The braids of my life catapulted me into my research agenda. I embrace these first parts of myself. These are the communities upon whose shoulders I climb, whose resilience in the face of trauma plays a part of making me whole. Their hopes and dreams entangle with mine as I continue this education. We continue being here. Thank you.